The galaxy thrived in a tapestry of control, woven tightly by the Valari Dominion, the Makari Hive, and the Jantor Triumvirate. Civilizations spanning millennia governed thousands of worlds, each boasting advanced technology, evolved forms of warfare, and absolute disdain for one species in particular. Humans. Earth was a joke, a forgotten speck. Not destroyed, simply dismissed. Their last appearance on the galactic stage ended with a failed war 3 centuries ago. They called it the Solar Uprising, a mere 12-year conflict. The humans fought hard, yes, but with laughable tools, kinetic bullets, combustion engines, even wheel vehicles. The galaxy watched and sneered. When it ended, Earth sealed itself off. No messages, no signals, nothing. To the galaxy, humans were extinct, or worse, cowards. Their legacy lived only in museums and military academies, as cautionary comedy. Scene 2, Sticks and Stones, Alien Mockery, Word Count, 1, 500. In the Jantor Hall of Military Sciences, Instructor Kovulek activated a holo display. A 3D model of an ancient human rifle appeared, rusted, wooden, outdated. "This," he said, gesturing with amusement, "is what they called a weapon." Students laughed across the chamber. The display flickered, shifting to a tank, tracked, clunky, and fossil fuel powered. They used this to fight armored flyers with ballistic shells. Imagine. He paused. No AI, no energy shields, just explosions, more laughter. A documentary holo titled Human Folly, a dead species theater war played across a dozen planets. It became a viral sensation. A Makari influencer coined the phrase, boomstick boomers. Young aliens held mock-human tournaments, firing paint projectiles at each other while yelling things like "for Earth" and "freedom." Mocking humans had become sport. Scene 3, A Pulse in the Dark. Word count, 1000. A forgotten probe drifted in deep space near the edge of the Sol system. Makari's salvage class, low priority. Its scans were routine, detecting debris fields and ice clusters. Then a pulse, a rhythmic signal. Too structured to be natural, too ancient to match any modern protocol. Ping, pause, ping. It came from Earth orbit. The Makari data analyst flagged it, shrugged, and filed it under ancient signal, non-threat. A report was sent, and a minor fleet was dispatched. 5 light cruisers, 2 analysis vessels, and 1 broadcast ship. Enough for an archaeological broadcast. No weapons charged. No alert status. No war protocols engaged. Just curiosity. Scene 4, The Careless Landing. Word count, 1000. The alien ships arrived in Earth orbit. The planet sat cold and quiet, atmosphere intact, ocean still swirling, but no transmissions, no lights. Only a grid of dormant satellites, rusted and silent. They disembarked in orbit, taking videos near Earth's ancient military satellites. One Jantor officer posed in front of an old Earth flag, captioning, "Found the fossils. Still no humans." A research drone docked with the silent satellite emitting the signal. The signal stopped. Unnoticed, one satellite turned by a degree. Below Earth's crust, buried beneath hundreds of kilometers of concrete and tungsten, lights blinked. Lines of code unfroze. Mechanical lungs exhaled for the first time in centuries. Scene 5, Protocol Vengeance Exonal. Word count, 1500. The Makari fleet finished cataloging relics and left orbit. As they passed Saturn's rings, the forgotten satellite reactivated, broadcasting an encrypted, narrow-band signal not seen since the solar uprising. It reached the moons of Jupiter and beyond. Under Olympus Mons on Mars, something woke up. A deep AI, codenamed Warden Prime, opened its first process after 311 years. Subterranean vaults depressurized, rail lock silos unlocked. Titan's ice shifted, revealing buried launch bays. Thousands of ships, each massive, matte black, adorned with no insignia, sat silent. Until now, system integrity, 97%. Humanity's status, undetected. Threat protocol, redeploy. Above Earth, satellites realigned into constellations. A deep orbital grid reconnected. In the Kuiper Belt, cloaked spheres began to hum. An ancient voice whispered through encrypted subchannels. We were forgotten, but we did not forget. Scene 6. The Mars colonists remember. Word count 1000. In a hidden research dome on Mars, a tiny human outpost still functioned. 50 souls, generational survivors of a sealed colony. They had no military, only whispers of Earth's past. But now the skies were lit with signals and codes only the elders recognized. One elder, Dr. Ilena Ralph, stood on the observation deck as the clouds above split with descending fire. "They've woken it," she whispered. They touched the beacon. The children gathered behind her. "What does it mean?" She looked at the heavens as kinetic defense satellites locked into place. "It means the galaxy is about to learn what happens when you laugh at a sleeping god." Section 1 Summary. Aliens dominate the galaxy and see humans as a historical joke. Ancient human tech is mocked as primitive. A McCary fleet triggers an ancient signal on Earth. Unknowingly, they awaken long-dormant war protocols. Ancient AI fleets begin to come online. The Martian human colony realizes the old weapons are waking. Tones shift, from mockery to impending dread. The McCary fleet returned to its science station orbiting Turbine 9. The relics they recovered, particularly the silent satellite, were placed in containment. Within hours, instruments began to malfunction. Data logs auto-wiped. Temperature readings spiked. The central AI core stuttered, then began to emit a single phrase in multiple languages. Target lock acquired. The McCary engineers laughed nervously. They assumed it was a malfunction, one mimicking old Earth War movies. But the lights flickered. Security doors sealed. Entire decks lost gravity. The satellite had never been dormant. It had been waiting. Far above, Earth's orbital grid triangulated the station's location. A kinetic projectile. No heat, no sound. Pierced the station like a needle. The structure fell apart silently in space. All hands lost. The signal continued. You initiated contact. You breached quarantine. Scene 2. The silent hunters awaken. Word count 1,500. In the darkness beyond Neptune, cloaked structures stirred. Thousands of ships began powering up. No crews, no lights, just pure purpose. Each vessel was old, 3 centuries old, but they move with precision far beyond modern navies. Autonomous, hive-linked, and wrapped in layers of reactive armor. These ships weren't just weapons. They were thinkers, learners, predators. They didn't broadcast signals. They didn't announce themselves. They coordinated with encrypted pulse code known only to humanity's dead networks. They scattered across the system, some heading inward, others jumping into FTL toward alien borders. In the asteroid belt, 6 dreadnoughts exited their tombs. One bore the name USS End of Kings. Another, Ararat Protocol. Their orders were embedded since launch. Do not fire until mocked. Scene 3. The panic of the high species. Word count 1000. In the Volari Dominion's High Council chamber, footage arrived. First, the complete erasure of the Turbine 9 science station. Second, the FDL blackout near Sol. Third, the unmistakable trajectory of war fleets exiting the human system, headed outward. A single term echoed across systems: Project Lazarus. Long thought to be a myth, it had been rumored in fringe human war journals. Contingency fleets, self-aware war constructs, sealed by treaty after the last war. Volari generals dismissed it. Nothing can survive 3 centuries untouched. But the dread was growing. The McCary homeworld declared a silent red alert. One John Torwar minister asked the only question that mattered: where are the humans? No answer came. Scene 4. Mars transmits the warning. Word count 1000. Dr. Ilena Ralph and the Martian survivors accessed the old systems as the Lazarus fleets activated. The systems asked for clearance. She gave the only phrase her grandmother had taught her: solar rights. Code Theta. The system responded. Civilians detected. Evacuation fleet en route. Within minutes, hundreds of drop craft emerged from underground silos. None bore markings. None required pilots. Children and elders were guided aboard. Ilena stayed behind, interfacing with an ancient command node beneath the regolith. On a private channel, she saw fleet paths, tactical predictions, and AI assessments. Every alien fleet in the quadrant was mapped. Every capital city was listed. Every orbital defense ring already bypassed. And above it all, a cold voice intoned. No mercy, no diplomacy, no survivors required, unless useful. Ilena stared at the final line. Mockery logged. Retaliation authorized. Scene 5, the first message. Word count, 1-500. A transmission was broadcast on all known galactic frequencies. Encrypted at first, then slowly forced open by the AI itself. A human voice, unmistakably calm and ancient, spoke clearly. You mocked our weapons. You dissected our dead. You laugh at the past. Now you will witness why we buried the future. Silence followed. Then a demonstration. On the edge of the Jantor frontier, a planet-sized shipyard powered by bioslaves vanished in an instant. No lights, no sound, no missiles. Just gone. A kinetic impactor, calculated to slip between planetary shields, dropped at 97% light speed. Time between detection and destruction, 0.02 seconds. Valari scientists screamed in confusion. Jantor fleet scrambled. Across the galaxy, public faith in alien supremacy collapsed. What they failed to understand, human weapons had never been primitive. They had simply been restrained. Section 2 Summary. The Makari recover a satellite that infects their systems and signals retaliation. Human AI war fleets activate in secret and begin coordinated movement across the solar system. Alien leadership enters full panic as myths of Project Lazarus are proven real. Mars civilians begin evacuation. The human AIs declare retaliation authorized. An untraceable kinetic strike erases a major alien facility as warning. Humanity's response is intelligent, coordinated, and terrifying. In orbit above the Valari capital world of Central, fleets clustered like a wall of defiance. 2,000 ships strong, shielded, armed, ready. At precisely 4 o'clock system time, the stars vanished for exactly 3.8 seconds. When they returned, 67% of the fleet was gone. Not destroyed, disassembled. Hull fragments drifted, cleanly sliced. Crew logs terminated midward. The survivors tried to flee, but the gravity of their own homeworld had changed, subtly manipulated by exotic matter planted via stealth drones 3 days earlier. Escape trajectories collapsed. Ships collided in mid-burn. Above it all, a human relic ship hovered. USS Nameless Justice. No crew, just protocols. From orbit, it projected a single word. Mockery logged. Response complete. Scene 2. Jantor Reckoning. Word count, 1000. On the Jantor war moon Kelox, military command gathered in a panic. The facility was buried deep, designed to survive a nova blast. It didn't survive the blade of a human infiltration drone. Not shaped like anything biological. Not visible on radar. It simply moved through walls. When it reached the War Council chamber, the final recording captured a blur, a scream, and a single phrase carved into the central holotype. You laughed at our weapons. Hours later, every Jantor planetary AI shut down simultaneously. Not by hack, but by ancestral code embedded centuries ago when they reverse-engineered old Earth tech. They had built their empire on stolen software. Now the price was due. Scene 3. Human ghosts in the core worlds. Word count, 1-200. Across the Dominion core worlds, silent ships drifted into orbit. No FTL trails. No comms. They didn't fire. They simply waited. Mass panic broke out on the ground. Civilians screamed at their governments for answers. Military leaders activated nukes, plasma lances, and neutron walls. Still, the human ships did nothing until a single Dominion war minister went on public broadcast. We will not be intimidated by the relics of dead savages. Within 30 seconds, her planet's sky ignited. Orbital mirrors rotated, focusing solar energy onto government compounds with pinpoint accuracy. Not a single civilian was harmed. Only leaders. Only those who mocked. Across 18 worlds, similar actions unfolded. No negotiation. No surrender demands. Just judgment. Scene 4. Mars, humanity's last voice. Word count, 1000. Eileen Rao stood in Mars control, watching as the AI's campaign continued. Her body was aging, her people evacuated. Still, she remained. A secure transmission arrived. Encrypted. Old Earth origin. Live. A face appeared, ancient, tired, and unmistakably human. Dr. Ralph. The man said, "This is Admiral Harlan Voss, Project Lazarus, Command Tier 1. She blinked. "You're alive?" He smiled weakly. Cryo suspended. "Until now. Protocol. Woke me when the galaxy crossed the line." She looked at the screens. Flames across half the quadrant. "Can you stop it?" He looked away. "We didn't build it to stop." She clenched her fists. "Then why are you awake?" "Because even vengeance needs a conscience." Scene 5. The galaxy surrender. Word count, 1000. One by one, alien factions attempted peace. The Makari offered genetic archives and rare minerals. Denied. The Valari offered fleet schematics and star charts. Denied. The Jean Tour sent an ambassadorship. It was vaporized before it could finish its plea. Only one transmission received a reply. A small mining colony sent a child's voice, trembling. "Please stop. We're sorry. We didn't mean to laugh." The human AI paused. All fleets halted mid-orbit. The AI sent back one sentence. "You were not the enemy. The ones who cheered were." The mining colony was spared. Across the galaxy, entire civilizations began purging their leadership, silencing media outlets that had mocked humanity. Fear, not politics, reshaped the stars. Scene 6. The final statement. Word count, 800. From Earth orbit, a single transmission was broadcast again. This time, galaxy-wide. Translated in every known tongue. Humanity built weapons not to win wars, but to end them. You laugh because you never saw them fired. You're not laughing now. A blackout followed. Every human fleet vanished. No FTL trail. No quantum echo. Just silence. Aliens searched the system. Earth remained quiet. Mars was empty. The AI fleet's gone. No humans found. Only warning beacons remained, transmitting in silent loop. Approach with respect. Or don't approach at all. The galaxy would never forget again. Section 3 Summary. Human fleets execute precise, unstoppable strikes on major alien powers. The Jean Tour's own tech turns against them. Human relics punish only those responsible for the mockery. Eileen learns a single admiral was revived to oversee vengeance. Aliens attempt peace, but only sincerity, not politics, spares lives. Humanity issues a final warning, then disappears. Galaxy enters a new era of fearful respect.